Come with me on my first ever solo international trip. We're headed to Edinburgh, Scotland. I have dreamed of traveling to the city for a while now, especially during the fall, because it is just so gorgeous. Plus, I had heard it was the perfect destination for a beginner solo trip, so here I am making my dreams a reality, even if it means doing it alone. It wasn't really until my family dropped me off at the airport that it finally started to set in that, okay, we're actually doing this feeling. And while the nerves were definitely there, the excitement was much greater. If there's one thing to know about me, it's that I am a type A trip planner to a T. I do my research, I love me a good itinerary, I book all my reservations in advance, so I was very confident that this trip was going to go smoothly. After 2 flights, 10 hours travel time, and not an ounce of sleep later, I finally arrived in Edinburgh. After making it through customs, I hopped on the bus and made my way to my hotel. I stayed at the Hub by Premier Inn. For the location, the pricing wasn't that bad compared to other places I had looked at. The room was compact, and aside from the carpet, nice and clean. I opted for the bigger room, which I'm glad that I did, as the extra space was much needed. With the bigger room, you get a king-size bed, which was pretty comfortable, and I love the control panel on the headboard where you could easily adjust the room temperature and lighting. At the end of the bed was extra storage to place your belongings, as well as a small space to hang up some clothes behind the full-length mirror. The bathroom was small, but again nice and clean. Overall, it got the job done. And I'll say for a hotel located on a relatively busy alleyway, I had no noise complaints throughout my stay. And like I said earlier, the location was perfect. It was located just a block away from the Scott Monument and the Princess Street Gardens, which is exactly the first 2 spots I went to after dropping off my luggage. There are no words to describe seeing the Scott Monument in person. The Gothic architecture here in Edinburgh is just absolutely breathtaking. I strolled through the Princess Street Gardens, which was just so beautiful with all the fall colors. I swear every few steps I was whipping out my phone to take pictures of everything. Stopped by the Ross Fountain to get this iconic view of the Edinburgh Castle. It all just felt so surreal. I kept thinking to myself, I can't believe I'm actually here. Like, what? Then it was time to catch my dinner reservations at Dishoom. I got the okra fries, chicken tikka, and garlic naan, and everything was so good. After lunch, I walked over to the National Portrait Gallery. It's free admission and showcases the history of some of Scotland's most influential figures. Plus, just look at how beautiful this place was. At this point, it was getting close to sunset, so I headed over to Calton Hill. Here you'll find some more of Edinburgh's most important monuments and an incredible view of the city. I had heard it was a must to come here for sunset, and I can totally see why. It was the perfect ending to a perfect first day in Edinburgh. After sunset, I was exhausted, and so I decided to call it a night and get some much needed sleep. Stay tuned for day 2.